Hello, I'm Mark,
And I'm Annika.
and today we will be going over what you'll be learning this year in Mr. Smith's AP Microeconomics course.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy this thorough synopsis of the AP Microeconomics course.
Economics is the study of the choices people make and how it affects us. So, exactly, where do we start?
In the beginning of this course, we will be focusing on the basics of economics, such as the production possibilities curve and the law of supply and demand.
In the course, progressing through it, you'll be able to learn how to visually show the effects of the choices that people make. For example, you'll be graphing and you'll be able to learning about what things are such as equilibrium or shortages and surpluses.
There are many different things that affect the graphs in AP Microeconomics, such as the price ceilings and price floors, and we also learn about how the price ceilings and price floors affect the equilibrium price and quantity. So what exactly is equilibrium?
Okay. Equilibrium is basically a balance point when two lines meet in the middle. So if we're looking at supply and demand, if the line for demand is right here and the line for supply is right here, right where they meet, that is the equilibrium. Equilibrium doesn't only account for supply and demand, it accounts for almost all of the graphs that you'll be learning about in economics and is essential to this course.
A difficult topic in this course is when we learn about price elasticity and inelasticity. There are very many different factors going into all of these different graphs, and it's very hard to keep track of all of them. But don't worry, you'll get it if you study.
So when you encounter that part of the course, my advice to you, pay attention to what Smith says, take the notes, study the notes, and you'll definitely be okay.
Towards the end of the year, we begin to learn about market structures, and there are four main types: perfect competition, monopolistic competition, monopoly, and oligopolies. Now, those are very different market structures.
In regards to market structures, they are similar in some ways, but also very different. When you're dealing with monopoly, it is typically only one firm, mono. When you're dealing with oligopoly, it is a few sprinkled firms. And then when you're dealing with perfect competition, you're dealing with many firms, like chain restaurants, for example. And when you learn about these, you'll be learning how to graph them and how to figure out where they fall on the scale. In regards to market structures, they're very prevalent in the course when you learn about them, so why don't we go over them a little bit? In regards to the four types of market structures, you will learn about these different factors and whether or not they play a part into the structure. So for perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly, you'll be learning how many firms are in there and whether or not they have barriers to entry, etc., etc.
We also focus on many shifts in the different curves, such as a shift in a supply curve or a shift in a labor curve. We focus on all of the different inputs that bring us to those shifts. We also focus on hiring decisions. So when a firm should or should not hire another person, we look at the charts of it and we graph it to see how exactly we should go about that.
Also nearing towards the middle of the year, you'll be learning about substitution effects and income effects. And then, essentially what a substitution effect is that you want a cheaper alternative. With the tools of these, you'll be able to apply economics to various different topics. And income effect is essentially when the price of a good rises, quantity demanded for the normal good will drop.
Hey Mark, what is game theory?
Game theory is the study of behavior in situations of interdependence. Two firms almost playing a game. The necessities of game theory are players, strategies, and playoffs. And essentially when you're playing this game, you are trying to find your dominant strategy to get the best, I would say,
Outcome.
Good word.
In addition to game theory, we also learn about the payoff matrix and the prisoner's dilemma. That's an idea that you'll get into once you learn about it in the course. But it's actually pretty simple once you explain it.
Towards the end of the year, we begin to talk about things like factor markets. Now, there are three types of factor markets, and that's land, labor, and capital. They're all really easy to understand, and I'm sure that if you get to the end of the year and you're struggling, if you take notes, you'll be able to understand it without any issues. Land simply just talks about what the business is literally on. Capital is the physical, like, machinery almost, and then labor is the workforce.
The last section that we focus on are about externalities, private and public costs, and private and public goods. External costs are also known as negative externalities, and external benefits are known as positive externalities.
We also talk about product differentiation and advertising. Now that is really simple. See, all it really is that advertising comes in many different ways. If you don't advertise, your product isn't going to sell. And product differentiation, see, well, I mean, the project has to be different, so that way you can product.
We also focus on an interesting subject of if pollution is good or not. For useful goods and services to be produced, and a certain amount of pollution is needed. So pollution necessarily isn't a bad thing, but too much of it can have very bad effects on society. All in all, this class was very beneficial because we learned about many different things that affect our economy, which is an ever-changing thing and always necessary to learn about because, you know, it's always going to be prevalent. So it was a very good class to take, and trust me, you won't regret taking it, and maybe you'll even take macro. So especially for business people, you're gonna have to take it in college, so it's good to get a jump start on your career and, you know, be able to take it now and take the AP test and be able to get it over with. So don't regret taking this. So thanks for watching our video, and hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you do well next year in AP Microeconomics. Good luck!